Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm showing you every single flower in Minecraft. And so there is around 30 flowers in total. We have 17 small flowers, 5 tall flowers, and then some miscellaneous flowers at the end there as well. And in this video I'll be going over every single one of these, where you can get them, and what they can be used for. So if you like Minecraft videos like this one, then please make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Minecraft tutorials like this one in the future. And so we'll start off right over here with the small flowers. These are all less than a block tall. And we start all the way at the start over here with the dandelion, which is this yellow flower. It turns into yellow dye and it can be found in a lot of different biomes. For example, the plains, savanna, forests, taiga, jungle, and even in river biomes. So lots of opportunities to find this first flower. And it's also one of the oldest because it was added in June 2009, along with the rose. Now speaking of the rose, we have the red poppy over here. The poppy turns into red dye, and it can be found in all of the biomes. You can also find the dandelion. And so all the way back in 2013, the developers decided that they wanted to rename the rose to the poppy. So that was the end of the rose and the start of the poppy as we know it today. Then we have the blue orchid that turns into light blue dye. And this is a more rare flower because it can only be found in the swamp biome or, for example, potted in woodland mansions. Then we move on to the allium. The allium can be crafted into magenta dye. And this flower can be found in the flower forest biome and in the meadow biome. They'll move on to the azure bluet. That is this small white flower. It will be crafted into light gray dye. And this flower can be found in plains, sunflower plains, flower forest and meadow biomes. Then we'll actually move on to 4 different flowers, because these are the 4 different colors of tulip that we have in the game. So they are the red tulip, which turns into red dye. There's the orange tulip, which turns into orange dye. We have the white tulip, light gray dye, and then finally the pink tulip turns into pink dye. All of these tulips can generate in plains and sunflower plains, but you're most likely to find them in the flower forest biome. And of these, the orange tulip is the most common and the pink tulip is the most rare. Then we're on to the oxeye daisy. This flower can once again be found in plains, sunflower plains, flower forest and meadow biomes, and it will turn into light gray dye like all the other white flowers. And this flower was added in version 1.7.2. Another flower that can be found in plains, sunflower plains, flower forest and meadow biomes is the cornflower. This flower will turn into blue dye when crafted, and it was added in 2018 in update 1.14. In the same update we also got the lily of the valley flower. Unlike the other white flowers, this one actually turns into white dye and not light gray dye. And it can be found in the forest, flower forest, birch forest, old growth birch forest and dark forest biomes. So quite a few different biomes than the previous flowers. Then we move on to a very special flower because it is the torch flower. As for crafting, it turns into orange dye, but what makes it special is that it doesn't naturally generate in your world. So the only way to get torch flowers is by using sniffers. So when a sniffer sniffs up an item, one of the items it can be is a torch flower seed, which is this item right over here. You can plant these torch flower seeds, and when they grow up, they will turn into a torch flower. Next we have a set of 2 flowers. They are the open and closed eye blossoms. So open eye blossom turns into orange dye and closed eye blossom turns into gray dye. And so eye blossoms will only generate in the pale garden biome. And during the day, they will all be closed, and during nighttime, they will all be in the open state. But they are 2 different items. And these were added quite recently in 2024 in update 1.21.4. Then we move on to some flowers with special abilities. The first of these is the wither rose. The wither rose will turn into black dye, and it can only be obtained when a mob dies due to the wither. So a wither has to kill a mob, and then that mob will drop a wither rose. And what's special about a wither rose is that if you stand in it, you will take damage from the wither effect. And then the second of these special flowers is the golden dandelion. The golden dandelion turns into yellow dye, And you can craft it by surrounding a regular dandelion with 8 gold nuggets. That creates a golden dandelion. And when you use a golden dandelion on a baby mob, that mob will stay a baby forever. Until you use another golden dandelion on the baby mob, and then it's able to grow up into an adult mob again. Okay, so those were all of the small flowers. Now let's move on to the 2-block tall flowers. There's 5 of them, as you can see right here. Starting with the sunflower. Sunflowers turn into 2 yellow dye and can only be found in the sunflower plains biome. Like most of the 2 tall flowers, if you use bone meal on a sunflower, that gives you another sunflower. The same thing goes for the lilac. You can use bone meal on this flower to get another of the flower. It turns into magenta dye, and it can be found in forest, flower forest, birch forest, old growth birch forest, and dark forest biomes. Then we have the rose bush, which is similar. You can bone meal it. It can be found in the forest, flower forest, birch forest, old growth birch forest, and dark forest biomes. And this flower turns into 2 red dye. And once again, very similar for the peony. Can generate in the same biomes. You can use bone meal on it to get a copy, but this turns into 2 pink dye. Then our final 2 tall flower is special, because you cannot use bone meal on the pitcher plant to get another pitcher plant. What you can do is you can turn it into 2 cyan dye, like this. And to obtain it, once again we have to use the sniffer. Because the sniffer can also dig up a pitcher pot, which can then be planted and grown up into a pitcher plant. Just like that. And then we are done with our traditional flowers and we just have the miscellaneous ones left. These are in the video because if you go into the creative inventory and search for #flower, you will see all of the flowers in Minecraft. And these are also part of that list. So we have cherry leaves. These are leaves on a cherry blossom tree, as you can see right there. And similarly, we have flowering azalea leaves, which can be found on the azalea tree. And with that, we also have the flowering azalea itself, which can be found in the lush caves biome. Between these, we have the mangrove propagule. This item can be found in the mangrove swamp biomes, and you can use it to make mangrove trees. Then we also have the cactus flower. And by the name, we can already know what it is, because the cactus flower can generate on a growing cactus, just like that. Then we have these 2 blocks over here that are very similar. They are the pink petals and wildflowers. And so the pink petals can be found in the cherry grove biome, and the wildflowers in birch forests, old growth birch forests, and meadows. Both of them work similar in that you can place 4 of them in the same block, just like this, as you can see right there. The wildflowers will turn into yellow dye and the pink petals will turn into pink dye. Then we have the only flower here that actually only grows on the ceiling, and that is the spore blossom. It will also give off these green particles you see floating around it, and it can be found naturally generating in lush caves. And then at the very end, we have the chorus flower, which is a flower that only generates in the end dimension. And it can also only be placed on end stone. And we can let it grow, and you will see that it grows just like that. And there will be multiple more chorus flowers that generate from one of these chorus flowers. And yes, you can break them with projectiles, just like that. And that will yield you more chorus flower. And so there we go, that's all the flowers in Minecraft currently. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please subscribe!